Down here it says have to have it, make it a deal breaker. We won't even notify you if someone doesn't meet your deal breaker qualifications. I would like to know before I completely waste my time applying to a job that's not even going to get notified I applied to it. Today I thought it would be fun to show you the other side of Indeed, all the ways to instantly filter you out without being notified themselves or notifying the job applicant. And if you enjoy this idea and you want to see more of it, maybe on other platforms, then let me know. Click that like button and click subscribe if you want to see me pick apart the corporate world some more. This is the first page. You click. You fill out your company's name. Let me do that real quick. A little surprised how Jedi, Pirate, Ninja, Rockstars developers isn't taken. It makes you pick your company's industry and then you type in the job title and it will give you some stats on the next page, but it's all based on what you put here. If you want to see what it's like for your industry and if your boss is just blatantly undercutting you based off of what Indeed has in their system, you need to change this for whatever your job is. You want me to fill out the job type and experience. Okay, I get it, but why can I check 11 plus years and no experience needed? Maybe this is just too real. Now here's something that's really insightful, and I don't think it's fair that people that post jobs get to see this and not the applicant. So what you're looking at is a chart that says how competitive your pay is that you're offering. And if you look at the fine print, sort of, you can see the average pay is $93K to $102K for the title of software developer. And only 14% of jobs are paying the average, and only 12% of jobs are paying competitively. So the next time you read a job post and under benefits it says competitive pay, not many people want to be competitive, but everyone wants to say they are. You can input whatever salary you want on Indeed.com, but when it comes down to hiring the individual, when it comes down to signing the paperwork, they can actually change the salary to be whatever. But if you're desperate and they're aware of that and you've been through 6 rounds of interviews, you're probably going to sign and just take a pay cut. It's completely legal to do that. If I was a company and I wanted to offer a job, I would say absolutely yes, my pay is competitive, and then just offer the low end of whatever that means. Or below. I'm sure you've heard something similar before, right? Due to record profits, we can't afford to hire you at this rate anymore, you know, something like that. It's free to make a job post on Indeed.com. So do you think people have done this before on the platform? Now, speaking about being tricked on the web, it's time for today's sponsor, and that is Aura. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Aura is, they're an online safety software that has almost everything you need while browsing the web. For example, it comes with a VPN that you can turn on anytime. So if you're like me, out here in the wild, and sometimes you got to connect to random Wi-Fi because that's the only Wi-Fi, it's nice to have that. And for families and parents out there, it also has content filtering, so you can keep the little ones at home safe. The most useful features for me, transaction monitoring, that's come in clutch a few different times. Their password manager, because it will walk you through resetting your password and then creating a new strong password, and it just keeps track of all the passwords. And the last one I think is useful for everyone, and that's data brokers. So whenever you enter your information on all these free platforms and tell it your likes and dislikes and your preferences, someone has probably been paid and is collecting that info. So I went on there, and since I guess I'm like a public figure, even though I don't think of myself in that capacity, it was nice to remove all of this excess information they had on me. It also has credit monitoring, and you can freeze your credit. So if someone tries to take out a brand new car loan in your name, not today. Anyways, Aura has a lot of tools packed into it, and I know there's something for everyone. If you use this little QR code or the link down in the description or type in aura.com/fluke, you can get 2 weeks free. Go see what the internet has on you and then request they remove it. Anyways, thanks again to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump back into Indeed. You can give the option for them to upload a resume, you can not ask for one, or you can require a resume. And then they can do that and still require that you go to their own website through their convoluted ATS system and still apply through that. You got to do both. And then down here, they want you to pick a timeline for the hiring process for this job, but you don't have to follow it. You don't have to follow like any of this stuff, and unless you're like saying one thing and then breaking the law or something. Like, you can fill out this entire form and fully intend to have everything be different at the end. But if you're smart and scummy like some of these companies can be, then you don't do it that obvious. You do it subtly. So then it generates some key qualifications. Tip down here, tell us what you really need. Selecting must-have, won't reject candidates. Ah, yes, my favorite part, pre-screening the applicants, yeah. Down here it says have to have it, make it a deal breaker. We won't even notify you if someone doesn't meet your deal breaker qualifications, but you can review them on your candidate dashboard. So like, does the applicant know it's a deal breaker? I would like to know before I completely waste my time applying to a job that's not even going to get notified I applied to it, even though I didn't meet the qualifications. The qualifications that are probably very subjective. This is why I say if a job wants like 3 years experience and you have 2 years, 9 months experience, then when that little box pops up on Indeed, if you put 2 years, 9 months, they're not even going to know you exist. That's why I say, yeah, sometimes you just lie on the job application. You do what you have to do to get to the interview. Now, obviously, you can't do this in some professions that have like legal requirements, certifications. You just can't do the job without it. But when it comes to these subjective things, do what you got to do to get the job. Now, here's a fun one, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but you can select these things called skill tests that are pre-made by, let me read it, subject matter experts working alongside Indeed hiring science experts, hiring science department. So let's say the person that's writing this post doesn't really know what they're hiring for, like a lot of people in HR tend to do. So maybe they're thinking, yeah, I guess they need to be qualified, but I don't know what they do. So they click this skills test. You're depending on the skills test that's pre-made to line up with your job duties at work. What if they're completely different? That can easily happen in a profession like software engineering, where the skills test is one thing, but what you're doing at the job is completely different. You can even make them take a working style test, which is so silly. Working style, conscientiousness, well organized, prefer routines, schedules, plans, be a good little worker bee. Be rule-abiding with a strong sense of duty and obligation. Shit, dude, I bet every single company out there wants a work style of conscientiousness, rule-abiding, strong sense of duty. It's a transaction. A job is a transaction, come on. Also evaluates the tendency to have a strong sense of direction, to work hard to achieve goals, and to persist through unpleasant tasks, and to be reliable. Great. I bet every single company wants a worker just like this. They have an FAQ that says, "Can't I preview the full test?" We provide example questions while also making it difficult for people to share this basic exam. Troy was given a job and instructions to follow. He thought there was a better way to do the job, so he did it his way. His manager asked why he ignored her instructions. What should Troy do? I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like, why isn't that an answer? This is incomplete. I don't have enough context to the situation. Did he cause any problems when he ignored the instructions? Did he break any laws? Did he plan on telling her after? Was it a do it and ask for forgiveness? Was it like, there's more to it. This isn't reflective of real life. Like, just right off the bat, this example question is stupid. Locking an applicant into these predefined situations is not real life. But, you know, what they want is a good little worker bee, right? They want you to follow instructions no matter what. Apologize for not asking permission. Explain why his way made more sense. Explain that he values the opportunity to improve. Why can't he do all of these things? Or none of these things? It's not real life. And these skill tests aren't testing any skills, in my opinion. It's pre-screening the applicants. You can't discriminate, right? That's illegal. But you can pre-screen very, very specifically, and that's totally okay. Anyways, hopefully this has been really insightful for everyone, and now you can go game them just like they game you. Do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, and click subscribe if you'd like to see me tear apart more of this corporate nonsense. And thanks again to today's sponsor, Aura. If you want to stay safe while browsing the web, then check them out with the link down in the description, or go to aura.com/fluke and get a free 2-week trial. Go see how all of the information you've freely given to these internet companies has been collected, and then request they remove it. But having said all that, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.